Alright, new ABBA album, or Ablum as nobody says. It's called Voyage and it comes out officially November 5th. I've listened to it 2 times front to back, and there were 3 singles that came out before the album that I've heard more than 2 times. So I'm going to go through this album track by track. If you don't know ABBA, they have, in my opinion, one of the strongest discographies of any band. I think they did about 8 albums and 2 female singers primarily, although the men did sing, especially in some of the earlier songs. Anyways, yeah, they were married, the 2 couples, and they divorced while they were still a band, and they kept making music together for a while. Then in 1981 they stopped, said no more, they split up, and, well, not silence, they did their own projects, but yeah, until about 4 years ago I think they started working on this album and putting it together, and Voyage has finally arrived November 5th. 10 songs. I'm going to go through them track by track, tell you what I think after 2 listens. So keep that in mind. My opinion may change in the future. And I've heard the 3 singles though as well, more than 2 times. Anyways, so yeah, Voyage. Here we go, track by track. First track, I Still Have Faith in You. This was the first single that came out. It's a long song, about 5 minutes. Slower than I think of it. I kind of think of ABBA as, you know, primarily as kind of faster songs about kind of tempestuous love and things like that. So this was a little different. This was kind of a slower song. It has this kind of choir effect that kind of hides the vocals at some point, which I didn't necessarily care for, but I think it's a good song, and I think the video makes it even stronger because it has this kind of nostalgia feel with, I don't know if it's old footage or computer animated footage for the, like, because they have these hologram concert coming in London with recreations of them from how they looked in, I think, 1979. So I'm not sure of this video, but anyways, the song itself is pretty good. It's not, I wouldn't say it's like, you know, you start to see with this song that the themes on this album are going to be different from what we think of as ABBA songs. Second song, When You Dance With Me. The sound of it feels kind of Irish, kind of Scandinavian, and of the 2 singers, Agneta and anni-frid, I don't know how you say their name, but I tend to prefer Agneta, and this was still anni-frid getting lead. And you know, you're starting to see in these songs that the themes are going to be less about like tempestuous love and high energy, and more like, you know, they're grandparents now, and these are slower, not all these slower songs, but the themes are slower, the topics are very different. Third song, Little Things. This is a Christmas song, I guess. This is my least favorite song on the album. I didn't like this song. It was slow, and, you know, at this point, sometimes I can handle some of these themes, but this one just felt like, I don't know, some Hallmark special or something. I did not care for this song. Next song, Don't Shut Me Down. This was another early release single that I think it's the best song on the album, and Agnetha finally gets more of a lead vocal, and I think too this is the most successful, again, lyrically, because it understands that I think Moma said that you songs that are kind of sadder and more tormented or anguished, those are the more interesting songs, and this song is probably on the album the most in that vein. Nice beat. I just think of it, this just feels like the most iconic, what I think of as like an ABBA song. 5th song is Just a Notion. This was again one of the early release singles, and it's good. It's good. It just and it does sound ABBA-ish, but again, not as much conflict, and just feels a little more like a walking pace. It just doesn't have the hook, I guess. But it is a good song. Next song, I Can Be That Woman. Agnetha, again on vocals. It seems like a lighter weight song and slower, definitely. This is the song at this point that I feel like I'm really unsure about my opinion. Like, it could change, and it doesn't grab me right away, but who knows? I'm gonna kind of sit on this one. Okay, next song, Keep an Eye on Dan. This song, I don't know about this song. Okay, first, is this song about, like, my impression is that it's like somebody dropping off their pet at somebody's house for a weekend while I go on a trip. That's what the song's about. So yeah, lyrically, I wasn't with this song. And then you take that subject and you kind of overproduce it in this 90s, I don't know, like Portishead sort of way that I don't like this song. Next song, Bumblebee. I think I like the sound of this song. It's got a slower kind of feel, kind of like Slipping Through My Fingers, which I think is one of ABBA's best slow songs. And I'm not totally on board with this Bumblebee imagery. Again, a lot of the lyrics and themes in this album are just not quite clicking with me because, you know, it's from this very kind of satisfied grandparent perspective, which is not what I think people want from ABBA or associate with ABBA. But I do like the sound of it, the production value it does. This is another one that I feel like I need to listen to a bit more. Next song, No Doubt About It. I think this felt like a bit like pandering to kind of the early ABBA sound of a real rocker song, but I don't know, it doesn't do much for me at this point. And then the album closes out with Ode to Freedom, which is again a slower song. It sounds, if you listen to the intermezzo from Georges Bizet's opera Carmen, listen to it and compare it. It sounds very similar, except Carmen, that intermezzo kind of goes to a higher place at the end, but the main kind of melody does sound very similar. I like this song though, and it is for one of the slower songs, I think it's pretty good. So overall, you know, this is my early first impression. I'm gonna give it a B- at this point, but keep in mind that is because I am an ABBA fan. If you're not an ABBA fan, I'm guessing you're probably closer to like a C. I was really impressed with the vocals. Like I thought that the two women sing wonderfully still. They either maybe that's audio production in the studio, who knows, but I feel like their vocals still sound amazing. The sounds, the production overall is pretty good. Some of the drumming felt a little simplistic, but overall I thought the production was good. It's just that the weak point for me is the lyrics and the themes that I talked about. So I wouldn't say this is a place to start with ABBA, and I wouldn't say this is going to convert you to ABBA if you are not an ABBA fan. But if you are an ABBA fan, I would definitely listen to it. I think this is the best that we can probably have hoped for after 40 years. I mean, that's pretty amazing, and that they were able to put this album together. It took them like 4 years, but still, I'm glad we got it, and I am going to listen to it a bit more, I think. It's what we should have expected. You know, people sing about what they know and what they're living, and this is where they're at this point in their lives. What did you think? Let me know in the comments, and make sure you're subscribed. I do reviews all the time, book reviews, music reviews, movie reviews, whatever.